Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you how to make the Zolino bracelet. It's basically a bunch of small triangles all built on top of each other to make diamonds. Here's a bit of an example of what it'll start to look like. I will also post a picture for you to see. I'm going to be using 6 colors today: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I'd like to have a rainbow effect. So I need 2 groups of each color, and I need them to be mirror image. So as you can see, the 2 purples are on the inside, then I go from there to blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So I'm actually going to start with the first group of colors. The second group I'm just going to pull out of the way, and I'm actually just going to slide this into the middle so you have a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so this bracelet is basically all forward knots and backward knots. Every row we do, we're taking out a string. So, I'm going to start with the red, and I'm going to go all the way across orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So 5 forward knots. I'm trying not to get my hand in front of the camera for you as well. I make no guarantees though. Now you want to try and get this row as straight as possible. And if you don't do your knots too tight, you should just be able to push and pull them so that they're straight. So now this red string, we're actually going to toss right off to the side because we're not using it for now. So we have blue, purple, green, yellow, and orange left. So I'm going to go on doing another row, quite like the candy stripe would be, except I'm not including the red string. This is left out. So I'm just tying a knot over yellow, green, blue, and purple. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm tossing the orange to the side as well. Notice I didn't knot over the red. They're separate from each other. So now I'm going to go on to the next row, which will be yellow as the tying string. I'm going over green, blue, and purple. Once again, forward knots for 3. Okay, put that one off to the side, and I'm just going to continue on with the green for 2. Put it to the side, and now last one will be blue for 1. So this purple string's not going to be knotted on, it's just going to hang down the bottom here. Okay. So everything else up to the side, blue is down, and you can notice we have a triangle effect going on. So we're going to group this all together. I'm just going to slide it out of the way here. We don't really need that. And bring in our second group. So remember, this is a mirror image, so red's on the outside, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Now, we're going to do the exact same thing we did to the other side, however, we're doing backwards knots this time. So the red is going to go across all the strings here, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple with backward knots. So red for 5. Okay, so I've got my straight row. Just going to make sure it's extra straight here. Don't be afraid to play with your knots and try and get them where you need them. Okay. So now I'm going to go back again. This time I'm taking orange across backwards for yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay. Soft in La La Land. So now I'm going to bring the other group back into play. Yours would probably be connected by a knot, folded strings over. I just have it the way I do, so it's easier to show you. And there's not too many strings in the way. So we need now to connect these two groups together to make our triangle. So I'm going to grab the red out of each group because that's the topmost color that I used. Okay. And I'm going to do 2 forward knots to try and tie them, get them both together. You got to make sure these are really, really tight. So I apologize if my hand's in the way. Okay, and then you're just going to set them off to the side. We don't actually need those. Next color we need is orange. So we're going to grab the oranges. Okay, same thing. We're going to do 2 forward knots to connect the orange rows together. So 1, 2, off to the side. Yellow will be next. Yellow, yellow, pull them off to the side just so they don't get in our way. Green is our next color. We're going to tie those two together with the knot. And our last one that we're actually going to do a knot for is blue. So once again, this purple's kind of out in its own little space. Okay. So if you pull these strings down, you should see you actually have 2 triangles forming. Try and get this one as neat as you can because everything's going to be based off of that. So now It's tricky at first, but it's simple once you get it. I'm actually going to pull my bracelet out. Okay, so here it is here. And I'm going to flip it. Okay, so I'm going to take the top group of strings and I'm going to clip it in because I don't actually need those right now. And I'm going to sort my strings out. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. That's going from left to right. Okay, now basically all we do is repeat the first step we did. I'm going to do forward knots with the red all the way across to the purple, so I end up with a row of 5. Now I apologize here because my clipboard really wants to slide, so I'm going to try and move it so it doesn't. So we're going to toss the red away. We don't need that because every time we're losing a string. So this time we're doing orange across and we're going for 4. So you will have another triangle here. Let me see if I can find my bobbin here. Cover it up for you. There's your new triangle that's formed. Okay, so we're going to flip it and do the same thing to the other side here. This time, however, you're backwards again, your mirror, so your red is actually on your right side. Okay, so we're going backwards. We're doing backwards knots from right to left. We're going red across for 5. Orange will be for 4, yellow for 3, green for 2, blue for 1. So I'm just going to speed this up so I can show you the next step. Okay, so as you can see, now that I've finished doing that, I have a triangle now going the opposite way than I did before. Purple, still floating string. I haven't done anything with it. So now I'm going to unclip this. Okay. I'm actually going to, now that you can see I have a bit of a triangle going on here, I'm going to flip it back, right side up, and pin that back in. So now I am working with my 2 sets of strings again, 2 separate areas. So I'm going to take the first one, I don't need it. I'm going to separate them out, and you'll be able to tell which way it goes. Now with the second set here, you're going to find everything is reversed from what we've been doing. So now your left side goes from purple to red. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before, but purple is going across all the colors for 5. Okay, so I've got that first section done. So once again, I've got the triangle going on. This time it's actually going backwards, starting with blue, or purple, sorry. Purple, blue, green, yellow, orange. The red string is your floater. So I'll toss that side away for the moment, because I don't actually need that. And do the same thing. Purple on the outside. So I'll do purple across for 5. I'm going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like the Care Bear countdown. And red will be left out. We have the red floater once again. I'm just going to adjust this back straight. You have your 2 groups. Once again, you have 2 triangles. So if I kind of cross these, you'll be able to see it would form a triangle. So it's the exact same thing that we did before. We're going to start connecting them together. You go by the topmost row, which is purple, and it's going to be 4 knots all the way down. Okay, so I've gone down now, leaving my 2 red strings separate, and everything else is now attached. So basically you've done 1 full repetition now. Everything continues on the same way. All you're doing is flipping and going row by row. So I would take this out, okay, here's normal, flip it sideways, okay, just kind of stick this one in here, and you're going, sort your strings out, okay, so it's the same kind of thing. You would go across purple for 5, blue for 4, green for 3, yellow for 2, orange for 1. Okay, and you would make that triangle again, flip it over, do the same thing, and run the row. So I'll be back in a moment with a visual recap for you. Okay, so here's my visual recap for you. Basically, what this bracelet is a lot of triangles that are either this way or this way stuck together. So how do we go about getting that? Well, it's quite easy. Your first row is always going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knots with your string hanging out. Your next row, 1, 2, 3, 4, stringing hanging out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that whole thing there. I'll move the camera a bit for you. Okay, so this row is 5 knots, 4 knots, 3 knots, 2 knots, 1 knot. Okay, and it would just be the opposite. These would all be forward knots, and you would just flip the pattern over to do the other side. That's all you're ever doing, are these little triangles here. Okay, so I think that's it.